Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. What's up, beautiful people? It's been too long. I hope you are doing well. I hope that this fine Saturday night is especially peaceful for you. Oh, as you can see, new card alert. I got a new deck. I actually got quite a few new decks and I'm really excited about them. But this is the black and white Rider-Waite deck. So it's the traditional deck, but in black and white. And I'm hoping that it'll be good for visibility's sake, that you'll be able to see the images, because you'll see in a minute. Well, you can see from the cover that's more or less how they look. And I'm hoping that on the table it'll be aesthetically pleasing and not reflect as much glare as my gold cards do, until I can resituate my lighting situation a little bit. I love my gold cards. I think they're just so pretty and the colors inspire me. But it's all about you, you know what I'm saying? So if you're not seeing well, then what's the point, you know? That's how I feel about it anyway. If I'm going to point the camera down, it's one thing if I had it pointed toward me or partial visibility to the cards, then so be it. But given I have only this view, this tabletop view, I think it makes most sense that you can actually see the cards. So anyway, I really do hope you're doing well wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And let's get into it, see what we got today. Oh no, we got the Three of Swords. And one thing about these cards, I gotta say, like, they definitely trigger the inner child in me to just literally want to take a marker and color them all in. Oh man, I want to color every last card. And I don't know, one day you might turn around and piece by piece they might start to get colored in if I get provoked enough. But for now, I'll try to keep them pure. But we got the Three of Swords here. This is our starting energy. This could be trauma, it could be heartbreak, it's definitely considerate of a past experience, usually with the Three of Swords, something that's already happened. Best case scenario, something that has either been healed from or is being overcome or healed from. But definitely, well, I'll say usually something that is not so pleasant. So let's see what else is under here. Wow, the Knight of Swords. So some trauma or drama with a knight. So this is either a knight trying to, because I did pick it up this way first, but this is either a knight trying to escape. That could make a lot of sense. It could be a knight trying to escape heartbreak, only to run right into it. Or it just could be someone that I just heard needs to quit while they're ahead. They're moving fast and furious in a direction that ultimately may not lead to something very favorable. This could literally be a crash out, burnout. It could be someone just, exhausting themselves energetically. I see this Three of Pentacles here. So this could be some type of third party situation or collaboration. association. Could be something that somebody's trying to, maybe somebody's trying to disassociate from some organization of sorts. Could even be a job with the Three of Pentacles, literally trying to, I did say quit while they're ahead. It could be someone trying to resign. Maybe it's a stressful position that's causing someone a lot of anguish, and they would want to relieve themselves of their responsibilities or their role within some type of association or community. But like I said, it's like either way, like somebody's trying to run fast away from stress and trauma and drama. It could be a toxic work environment that somebody's trying to get away from, but there's something about it that is either hard to shake, what am I hearing? It's like somebody's trying to quit, but they can't. Or they know they should quit, but they won't. Because I did say quit while you're ahead. But in this case, it doesn't seem like, it's like, it's giving the energy of somebody trying to leave a job that's toxic, or a position that's toxic, but where they go, they find the same experience. Wow. So you leave one job and you're thinking that, you know, you're leaving your troubles behind. There's somebody, and it's funny because I was just watching I was watching this compilation. Lately I've been caught up, not like, you know, binging on them, but every now and again I'll see a title and I'm like, that's interesting. And it's usually like these compilations of either TikTokers or YouTubers that are talking about one particular subject. And today I watched one about like, one was about like being fired. And I mean, it was kind of sad in some ways. Some of them were kind of funny, but generally it just was it was just like illustrating the callousness of corporate America right now. Not even just corporate, because it was all types of jobs, but just the work industry, you know, and how calloused people, you know, people can be on the other side of the table when it's time to dismiss employees. Now, some of them were warranted dismissals, but some felt just so cold and detached and, you know, unsympathetic, unempathetic. And of course, when you're in that position, which I've been before, you're kind of just doing your job and you're doing whatever, you're carrying out whatever orders usually are passed down to you, or whatever, you know, the position calls for. But the other side of that, which was, and I've been on both sides, you know, I've been laid off before out of nowhere. And it's like, what? You know, in 2008, I was laid off from my job at McDonald's. McDonald's corporate, by the way. But there were some fast food workers too that, you know, were still no less stressed because their dismissal came out of nowhere. But anyway, it came out of nowhere for me. That was my first job out of college, and it was a really sweet one with a great benefits and pretty good pay for all the benefits that I had, and a really amazing flexibility of work life. So when they pulled me into the office and gave me the old heave ho, you know, it wasn't personal, it wasn't performance based. It was just the market was, you know, declining at that time, and they were making cuts, and my position was one, you know, of a few others that was just expendable as far as the company was concerned. But anyway, I digress, because this may be a little bit of that where somebody wants to get fired or wishes to get, maybe that's what it is. It's like somebody wishes they could get fired or let go. But it feels like somebody's stuck. It's like they're trying to and unentangle themselves from an association, but it's either wherever they think they find relief or release, they end up, running back into the same old problems, whether it be the reoccurring issues in a new place, or the same energies are following them, whether it be people or just I don't know, people, associations, scenarios, whatever it is, it just follows them. And, there's that saying, wherever you go, there you are. So it seems like a good opportunity for someone to consider what they're carrying with them from place to place, because usually when you're trying to escape some aspect of yourself in one way and without resolve in one place, it usually packs up with you wherever you end up. And that could go for relationships too, which this could be considerate of. But I feel like with the Three of Pentacles, it feels more practical. It feels more like a job or a position or a group think or a group agenda of sorts or something like that. Yeah, and then here's the Nine of Pentacles, which would be, about being independent. Oh, so maybe somebody literally, could be somebody wanting to break away from what they feel might be like a chain or entrapment of an association to just work on their own, or be by themselves, or be an entrepreneur, or whatever. But again, whatever mentality with the Knight of Swords that you have, or that you have been conditioned by, even in one place, has the potential to follow you, because this Three of Swords is given trauma. So whatever has been experienced in one place, until it's been resolved, maybe even released entirely, it's still a live wire, is what I'm sensing. Interesting. So I don't know if we're talking about a job, a relation. It could be a number of things, but let's see how we do with these cards. Oh, they shuffle pretty cool. Pretty easy. Yeah, somebody is exhausted. They need some recovery time, or they want some time to recover from some traumatic experience, PTO, or either like somebody could be requesting like a paid leave. Maybe somebody has had like a bit of a breakdown with that Three of Swords, or they're feeling like they're on the verge of some type of mental or emotional breakdown on account of the stress of their work environment. Because the 3 leads to the 4, and this is what this is here, when like you don't have no choice but to sit down, rest, and either recuperate or recover. Some type of work drama has, maybe some type of work drama has broken out. Some shit has hit the fan, and somebody may have found themselves at the center of it, at the core of it, and they want to find a way. Okay, so they want to find a way out of it, but it's so much of an entanglement. Oh, it could even be somebody like inappropriately carrying on relationships with that 3 of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords. It could be somebody like carrying on inappropriate, intimate relationships at work, and it's caught up with them. Maybe that water cooler chit chat is now starting to circulate the office, and it could have some, that could be it, that somebody is now being put in a position where they have to, maybe they've been suspended, or asked to take a leave of absence until further notice or something like that. What's on the bottom with the star? Yeah, this is a recovery. This is about healing. What's with this Four of Swords? But I feel like that star energy, it feels like somebody's on display or being, like, it's like their name is on display or circulating in a way that's not really favorable, though. That's what I'm getting, because usually the star, the star is good money for the most part, but in the sense that I'm speaking of it now, like somebody might be the star of the office right now, but not in a good way. Like they're literally the topic of the rumor mill about this affair or entanglement or something inappropriate in the office or something that broke out and some disruption to, everyday work affairs. Somebody could have had an affair with the boss, and maybe the spouse found out or something. I don't know. Something inappropriate has happened in an organization. Let's see. These shuffle real nice, being so new. The Ten of Wands. Boy, oh boy, somebody got themselves into some deep shit. And it's become extremely burdensome. No wonder they're exhausted mentally, maybe even physically, emotionally, because they're facing some type of ending, and it's not a good one. It's like it's the end of the drama, perhaps because it, has all been exposed, or everything's kind of, like I said, hit the fan or is out on the table, but it's threatening some type of endings that are going to be more stressful on whomever has to bear it. Like I said, either being fired or demoted or suspended. I heard without pay. Or some type of loss of wages or compensation or profitability here. It could even just be someone's reputation taking a great hit on account of whatever has been exposed, and has put a lot of burden and stress on someone that at this point they can choose to relieve themselves of still. It's the same as the beginning of the reading, where someone has the choice to release some of the stress, or remove themselves from the drama. But like I said, if you still taking that same mentality from here to the next job, it's not going to be any different of an outcome. And not only that, what I'm getting is someone at the Ten of Wands may have put themselves in a position to be hard up for a positive recommendation at this point. Like they may have soiled their name, or their chances to gain employment in the same industry. It's like somebody kind of ruined their rep or something. What's on the bottom? Wow, with the Ace of Pentacles. And what's that peeking out? The High Priestess. Some type of secret being exposed, in the Ten of Swords. Yeah, like I said, This has put an end to someone being able to, someone's profitability, them being able to kind of shop their gifts around within the industry or to other corporations, or it's giving false prophet vibes, or somebody's because with this high priestess, it's like somebody's spiritual reputation has taken a huge blow. It's like, and this is real practical, but it's like a preacher or some type of like spiritual leader, evangelist, teacher, again, prophet, even a tarot reader, or some type of prophetess or seer or some sort, who more or less, is expected to uphold a certain standard of decorum, let's say. I'm not going to say like they should act a certain way, because who's to say, you know what I mean? Like, if people could judge me by how I live my life, in my personal time, and say, oh, that ain't this or that ain't that. And I'm sure they probably do, which, is fair, whatever. But it's something that, it's something about someone operating out of the decorum of what would be considered excusable or acceptable for the position that they hold. And in this case with the high priestess, I'm getting some spiritual or religious vibes, more spiritual than religious. So it could be someone presenting themselves to be some type of spiritual teacher or another, but their personal lives or their activities are exposed to express something contrary. Like somebody that presents themselves to be a light worker, but they're really working in the dark. You know what I mean? Or they're really on some funny business, or really diabolical, you know what I mean, in some way, shape, or form. And if that's how someone has propped themselves up professionally, even, whether it be they're profiting from their platform, or from whatever it is that whatever persona that they have created for themselves, or just their profession of their faith and of their identity, we all know that once that takes a blow and once that's tarnished, it's hard to rebuild. It's hard to shake that image, especially if there's any receipts or evidence of it being true. And this Ace of Pentacles is given a big receipt that can't be ignored. That's also what I'm seeing with that. Like something has been presented, or like, again, a secret has been exposed in such a way of someone's true nature or secret identity, in a sense, that just is completely contrary to who they present themselves to be. It could even be someone presenting them, professing themselves to have certain special gifts and talents, and they don't. Maybe within an organization, their employment was gained on the merit of something, some special skill set, or some sacred skill set or another. And it is performance based as to why they need to be released. And that takes a hit to how someone's able to profit or benefit, or some type of fortune that's been gained on account of that. Interesting. All right, let's keep going. Shoot, that could be a lot of people right now. And there he is again, the Knight of Swords. This is given like he's somebody that's trying to make amends, maybe trying to resist this ending, this 10 of Wands. To resist it. What's another word? Dispute. That's what I'm getting. It's a dispute. So literally could be someone fighting for their position, disputing their dismissal, or just trying to plead their case with this sword energy, like just trying to plead their case as to why they are who they say they are, or to make excuses for whatever has been uncovered, to, you know, absolve themselves of any guilt, whatever. It's like they're definitely aggressively trying to push back on this ending, because whatever this 10 of Wands is, it's going to be a big blow for someone to have to accept. What's on the bottom? Ooh, the Emperor. But I was getting that too with the 10. It's like it's pointless, whatever they're trying to do, because the decision's already been made from the top down. It's like it's beyond it, you know, when they say like this is above me. It's like above middle management. It's above, you know, the supervisor level, the management level. This is like now the big boss, the big dog, the CEO, maybe the owner and operator of the company has gotten a whiff of this, and they have sent down the decree that whomever this is or whatever this is has to go. So it's like it's non-negotiable at this point. There is nothing to negotiate. There's nothing to refute, deny. You know, somebody could try their luck in litigation if they so choose, but at this point, and that was the energy of so many people that had faced this moment. And a lot of people like literally recorded their experience in real time, because you know people record everything now, right? So they were literally somehow recording like it happening in real time, like them being fired in some way, shape, or form. And it's like in that moment, there's really nothing you can do, you know, because it's like, well, damn. It doesn't matter how much time you put in, how amazing of an employee you were, how dedicated you were, you know, or how, you know, how great of a job you did or didn't. It just comes down to when the word is that your services are no longer needed. That's just what it is. And there's nothing else to really be discussed. Like you get a whole bunch of HR rhetoric about, you know, the appreciation of your time and whatever the next steps are, but ultimately it's like on to the next, if at all. Because in some ways, like in my case, when I left McDonald's, they didn't replace that position. It was, you know, it was just decided that it was not necessary, which, you know, I beg to differ even now. But that was a decision that was made from a higher up space than what anyone could control on the middle range, and certainly at, you know, the point of objective. So I don't know, somebody would want to refuse to go or to fight. So maybe it was this Knight of Swords was trying to push back on that Three of Swords, that heartbreak, that breakup between themselves and whatever this organization or association is. But it's like nothing they can say at this point can change that fate. They gotta lay down in that Four of Swords and take it. Yeah, with the Moon card, they're afraid of the unknown, of having to turn around maybe and start over. not knowing what the job market is going to look like, not knowing, you know, especially if there's something taboo following them, you know, how that blemish is going to fare in the market or in other markets. They may have to start over altogether in a whole new industry, you know, and that can be real scary. It's like somebody's fighting against the dark. Ooh, wow. Back to the Three of Swords. Yep, because they're afraid. Wow. And you know, generally speaking, because I was getting this too, it literally could be just the trauma of accepting the changes in the world as they are now that we've all seen coming. Well, many of us have seen coming down the pike that there are certain industries that are just being downsized no matter what, you know, like because of the health and wealth of the economy. Certain positions just can't be supported anymore. Certain head counts have to be minimized, you know, and it's like coming to terms with the what now, you know, especially if you're in a position where you weren't one that found ambition in entrepreneurship or even a side hustle or, you know, anything like that. It's like, generally speaking, it could just be a lot of people coming to terms with kind of having to pave their own path now, you know, and not really knowing what that looks like, not having a lot of support for it. You know, when you think of like TikTok, which was a place where people could make their own path and make their own money, and the government threatening to shut that down, it's like, you damned if you do, damned if you don't. Now, where are all these people going to turn to for a livelihood? You know, it's all conspiracy, you know, if you ask me, to shut down avenues of people's independence so that you're too frantic and hopeless to continue on in your own sovereignty, and you start to feel like you have to reach back to dependency on you know, the government or some other powers that be. And then at that point, they'll be able to pretty much throw you any scraps that they want to, you know. So it's all BS, but just like any other time, it's going to backfire in ways that can't be controlled. So that's one aspect of it. There's certainly still the part of it that's about someone that, or someones that didn't do well with the fortune, perhaps the fame, the opportunities, the liberty that they had to be prosperous. And now there's a reckoning for that as well. Like, one way or another, everybody's being liberated to kind of get it how you live in one way, shape, or form. Even in industries that seemed foolproof and 100% secure, even if there's not a threat to an actual position, there's still this energy internally that is confronting about whether or not this is what you even truly want to do. You know, it's like nobody can escape that burning desire anymore, one way or another, whether it's external confrontation or an internal one. So anyway, let's see. But here it is, the Three of Swords again. Let's see. I love these cards, man. I do. Damn. And the Ten of Swords. It's like there are endings happening again, like no matter what. No matter what. And it could even be with that Emperor card. It could be even consideration of what's about to even happen on Monday. You know, like finally, you know, the old but new regime being sworn back into leadership who knows? Who knows? Some people have high hopes for economical growth, but at what cost though? Like, we don't know what the casualties may be for the ambitions for growth and expansion and things of that sort. Like, we really don't have any clue as to what is coming down the pike as far as the leadership is concerned in this country. So it really is kind of like a every man for himself right now. And not because it's completely doom and gloom for leadership, because who knows, maybe we could be pleasantly surprised. It's possible, but whatever it is, it's certainly a change that probably is a little bit more uncomfortable to manage, even the projection of it, especially given it's so obscure. Like, I just heard, like, is your money even good here anymore? That's wild. What is that about? Look at this with the Seven of Pentacles. Really? Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. This is about investments. Could be stocks, could be bonds, could be savings. It could be even, sowing what you've invested in yourself. It could be in your own personal business, or again, it could be this card is always a matter of perception. So it could be consideration of what you've invested in the ideal of the American dream itself, or in the fabric of the institution of this nation, the function of it, i.e. into corporate America, or whatever position or role you may have functioned in, and considering, like, what have I yielded? I've given 7 years to this company, this corporation. What have I gained? For some, maybe quite a bit, maybe quite a bit to part with, or enough to make you stay. But for others, it could be quite disheartening to consider, how much energy, time, talent, attention, sacrifice, blood, sweat, and tears, for some, you've invested into a thing, an idea, a place, a person, again, an establishment, only to find that it really didn't yield much, or didn't yield much in a balanced way. But again, it's all about perception. So it's just a matter of how you see your time and your investment, even if it's not, doesn't look great, doesn't look promising materially. For me, like, I've always had a way of looking back at and really even keeping track of it. Like, it's something that I not constantly, but ever so often, I remind myself of the things that I've learned in different spaces, the skills that I gained, the lessons that I acquired, the character that I built in different positions, whether it be in jobs, particularly jobs, but in different places, from different people. Like, I like that, personally, that point of reflection, because it keeps me grounded, it keeps me humble, and it keeps me grateful to know that life is always given to me in some way, shape, or form, even in the best of situations, and certainly in the worst of them. Well, certainly in the best, but even in the worst of them, like, I've always gained something from my presence in a place, even as much as I've, left something of my presence in a place as well. There's always been an exchange. So, but for me, it could never be for nothing. There, when I reflect upon McDonald's, like, that set me up for gaining significant employment when I moved to New York and I started over. And it was that experience that translated over into a job at AOL, where I just seamlessly moved back into, corporate America in New York City, which is not an easy feat, as a transplant. And I didn't stay in corporate too long, but it helped me to establish myself financially so that I could stay to actually ultimately find my true passion, which was more of the creative side of myself, and then ultimately more of the spiritual side of myself, and one and the same. So it's like everything matters, But this is giving someone that wants to backtrack and like almost strong, maintain the stronghold in a space or in a position or a time that ultimately has expired, and no matter how you look at it, an end is an end. And in this case, is doubling down on that ending. And before, like I said, quit while you're ahead. It's like somebody, it's like you refusing to take the L, so to speak, might actually diminish the benefits that you get to part with, i.e. like a severance package or your dignity, you know what I mean? Your pride, stuff like that. It's like if you can see it in a way where an ending is just a new beginning, then you're better off for it. But for those that refuse to release the old world, old life as it was, are having a harder time, transitioning. All right, let's see what we got. All right, one more. I like these cards a lot. Oh, wow. This is deep. This is deeper than what I'm giving it. What? The Devil and the Ten of Swords. Because I'm trying to keep it up, right? Like, what is this? Hold on a second. Where we at? Got a few minutes to ponder. It just seems like somebody or some may be headed for defeat on account of their own obsessions. And again, that could very well just be the obsessions of the past, or the obsession for comfort or complacency or life as it was, you know what I mean? Or for what they knew, or what they had an anticipation for, an expectation for. Practically speaking, it could be someone that anticipated work. They had their own timeline in mind, like, oh, I'm gonna work this job for this long, and hell, they might have thought I'm gonna retire off of this job, or this is going to be my, I don't know, like my nest egg for retirement. Like, this is where I'm going to build my IRA, or my, what is it? Shoot, I done forgot the term. I've been out the game. Oh, shoot, I can't even think of it. But your 401k, there it is, 401k. Yeah, like you could be thinking that this is a long-term thing, or it has potential to be. And hell, we all know that ain't nothing promised to be long-term in this economy as it stands. Not unless, the only thing you can really put faith in is what you are willing to invest in for yourself, build and create with your own hands, your own brain and creativity, your own imagination and inspiration. But when it comes to anything else that you're working for, you're at that mercy. But this feels like darker to me with the 10. It's like somebody is falling, some type of bad deal. That's what this is. Oh man. Maybe a severance that wasn't really a good look. So it's like somebody being offered a package to leave that really, it either gives them a short end of the stick this is what I'm getting now. This could be really specific, but it's like somebody being offered a severance package, right? But they also have to sign like an NDA or something like that. Like they have to sign some type of paperwork that they won't disclose the inner workings of a company, or they won't badmouth or bash the company. They won't sue, like whatever. So on the surface, it seems like a decent deal. You know what I mean? For someone, like maybe it's a lot of money up front or whatever to sever this contract, but no sooner than after you sign the deal, you realize that you actually had a case. You know what I mean? Like you actually would have been better off. Like maybe you signed for a couple tens of thousands of severance or so, which seems astronomical, but maybe hundreds of thousands maybe. But in actuality, your case, your dispute, or your whatever it is, like I did say something about a dispute earlier, was actually worth millions. But now you signed this non-disclosure agreement, which says that you won't sue, you can't even talk about your experience. So now, in actuality, you're stuck having sold yourself short, like Seven of Pentacles in the lower frequency, where it wasn't worth signing your name on the dotted line for the quick, immediate gratification, when if you would have held out or done your due diligence or stood your ground, maybe on like your principles, your morals, or whatever you felt justified in, whatever that could have been, you would have been set for life. You know what I mean? Like maybe not to even have to work again. I don't know what this is about, but that's what I just got from these two. Some type of a raw deal. And we know the devil ain't never really going to get shysted when it comes down to it. Like not when the human is in the 10 of Swords and they had the warning to quit while they were ahead, or to pump the brakes or something, or reconsider. It just means that somebody either let material cloud their judgment, quick turnaround, lump sum of money, or maybe even some type of promise of another position, or I don't know, but there was something glimmering here, charming here, that somebody may have fallen for, literally, with the 10 of Swords, or that they ultimately either got betrayed or they betrayed themselves. So maybe generally speaking, this could be, a warning of taking the bait on the glamour of obsession with possession and material, and, even carnal contentment exclusively, in this transition of sorts, as it may be happening in waves for some, not to be bamboozled, you know, with the first thing that looks good and seems like, you know, a good deal, or seems like a good deal because it's the first deal, you know, and God forbid there, you don't know what's coming down the pike, or if there ever is any other opportunity or whatever. It's something here about that, generally speaking, but I'm speaking very specifically. It feels, yeah, because here's the big money, and look, here's the Three of Pentacles again. To do what you love for what you're worth is what I'm sensing for that. To find your people, to find your establishment, your association, or to create one, you know, but something that really is of high value. And we coupled here with this Ace of Pentacles, this is like divine gift, you know, maybe even an opportunity for you to actually use your gifts and talents in a way that you would be selling them short otherwise, or not using them at all. Because let's face it, a lot of times in corporate positions, you're not really using all of your talents, you know, like you're doing something very prescriptive, or you know, like specific, just to get by, or again to contribute to the assembly of the machine, you know, or whatever, however the mechanism of the organization works. But there's a choice between taking whatever you can get because you're afraid that you won't get nothing else, or won't be able to sustain yourself, or to, you know, maintain your lifestyle, or even grow beyond, you know, where you are. And here is this God-given, wow, with this here again, wow. So some people are definitely being called into financial freedom and creative independence, for sure. And maybe even to create, again, the establishment or association that's most ideal for what you do uniquely. To find it or create it, but not to settle for less. That's what I'm getting here with the Ace of Pentacles. There's a great deal of prosperity, profit, and potential for growth in your God-given gifts and talents. That's the moral of the story. Oh, and here's the King of Swords. And to be the expert in that field, because that's what the King of Swords gives. You know, he's you know, he's the expert in whatever it is he does. He has the expertise, and it definitely, again, is a nod to being proactively expressive in your own individualism, you know, in your profession of identity, whatever that is. And the star with the pentacle here is just a nod to it being very unique, but still highly valuable, and still not but and still highly valuable. So yeah, so it's no less professional to do whatever it is that you do, spiritually, creatively, socially, you know, leisurely. Some of the things that we take for granted as a medium of independence, particularly financial independence, are really the gateways to our own liberty and freedom, if we allow them to be, you know. And to mainstream as it was, because not even as it is, slowly but surely everybody's getting on the wave. You know, it's just some are holding on to what was more and longer than others, but there's coming a point in time where you really won't have a choice, because certain things, as I said, are ending without, you know, any say so about it, even from those that are, you know, that are passing down the message that may not really want to. You know, they're being the middlemen to put an end, or to dismiss and things like that. Hell, probably in fear for their own positions and their own stabilities, but everybody is facing that inner confrontation of, you know, your own divine creation and the purpose of it in this earth. You know, what is it really and truly? What is that profession? And are you operating it like your own personal performance review, so to speak? Is what is some, you know, have already experienced that, have already gone through that process and accepted, you know, their rating, or, you know, whatever it is. What do they call it in a performance review? Like your grade or your rate. Well, I forget what it's called. And some are afraid of that process, you know, or afraid of what happens after the fact. But it's ultimately whatever you say it is. And that's the hardest part to really believe for yourself. But that's the truth of it with the King of Swords. You know, you have the sword of truth and you decide how you wield it. Most of the time when we face certain situations, i.e. layoffs and firings and demotions, it's really just the universe conspiring in our favor to co-create our inner desires with us. And sometimes it seems like for us, but it's really just the response of the universe to what the soul is projecting as its own personal truth. You know, so the sooner you can go with the flow and allow it to be, I just feel like the better life, the sweeter life can get. And certainly it sounds good, better than it feels when you're in the moment. But for anyone that's experiencing any particular transition that may seem uncomfortable or uncertain, I definitely wish you the highest frequency of perspective, so that you can see your way forward to something or somewhere unlimited and liberating indeed. All right, so I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Yeah, take from it what you will. Good luck and Godspeed to you in all that you do. And until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.